Hi, and welcome to our live with Kirsty Skeets and Donna Wills from Animal Physiotherapy Limited. Hi. Um,
Hello.
hi. So we're going to be chatting tonight about canine and puppy massage and the DVD that you've made. So if there's any questions you'd like to ask Donna, just pop it in the comments and we'll answer those. So Donna, tell us all about your little video you've got.
Hi. So thank you so much for bringing me on. I really appreciate that. Obviously, I get very excited about it because for me, I just think it's the most brilliant thing in the planet because it's so important to get your animals massaged from an early age. And I decided that because my background is veterinary, and I found that in the old days when I started nursing, people were quite almost heavy-handed, not in a bad way, but very happy to grab onto their animals and do an eardrop or whatever. And then as the years have gone on, people have become much more cautious about touching their dogs, and it's almost got to the stage where you might say, "Oh, put an eardrop in," and someone will pick up an ear flap and sort of go, "Oh, did I do it?" And it's like gone down the side of their face instead of where they need to go. And my concern was that people were getting too worried to touch their animals and fearing doing things like massage, which is so important and so good for both you and the animal and your bond. So I decided to take the fear out of massage and put a DVD together so that people had a really easy to follow step-by-step instruction that showed you exactly what to do. Because I mean, books are great, they're absolutely fabulous, but there are still photos. And when it comes to massage, it's such a mobile thing that's moving all the time that I thought that doing something that was much more visual would be much easier to learn off of. So the DVD was born.
Excellent. So what gave you the idea for the DVD?
So largely that, and then obviously I'm an animal physio as well, so I obviously have a big background and knowledge of massage. So I decided that I should put my knowledge down, and as I say, I would have done a book, but I felt that this was a much more visual thing, so I had to do it in that way, in a way that people could really take it on and learn it in an easy fashion. And as I say, I'd heard so many comments of like, oh, that's scary. I don't want to hurt my dog. I don't want to do it wrong and all that sort of thing. And actually, massage is really quite instinctual. And the DVD is the safe level of massage. I always explain it like there's the massage type that you might do on your husband if he's been a good boy or something like that. And, it's perfectly safe and it's absolutely fine to do. And then there's the massage that you would go to your massage therapist for, and they would get stuck in and they do some real therapy and some deep massage. They're two different things. And so the DVD is about teaching you how to do the safe massage. So you haven't got to worry. You mustn't be panicked. And you can just really enjoy knowing that you're giving a great massage that's going to give great endorphin release, get your dog confident with being touched from nose to tail and everything in between, and get you feeling really confident with doing that massage and delivering that massage. And then it has lifelong benefits, so that later on in life, if your dog gets sore or has any injuries or anything like that, and you get referred to a therapist, then that way us physios, osteos, chiros, any of us can just say, oh, you've already got some skill, brilliant, that's great, now let me just enhance it, let me just focus you in on this zone, can you just do this, that and the other, and they can build on that skill that you've got. So it's to help educate and just help everybody just have that extra bit of knowledge with their dogs.
I suppose the really good thing about where we are at the moment and in the situation that we're at is that it's also beneficial for the owner as well, to be able to spend that time with their dog, and having those and doing those massages with the dog, because it is just spending that one-on-one time with them. And also it's a bit of a benefit for owners as well.
Absolutely. I mean, at the moment, particularly, most of us are really stressed. And what's the best way of getting rid of stress? Give your dog a cuddle. I mean, that's the best thing you can do to deal with stress. And so, what's the next step up from that? Actually, give your dog a massage. And if you really start watching yourself, what I tend to find is that massage is really instinctual. You find you just start doing it. Your dog comes up to you, you just start rubbing their head. And what's really nice is to say, actually, oh, I'm already doing that. Wow, that's amazing, but now what can I do that will be a little bit better and give a little bit more benefit to my dog? So this is like that next step up from what you're probably already doing because you just can't help it. So yeah, and that's how much comfort we, both the dog and us owners, get from doing the massage. We naturally do it, so we must get a benefit, otherwise we wouldn't do it.
Definitely. Well, I know that we've had some dogs that they come up and ask for it. Like the owners have said, oh, my dog sort of like, you know, backs into me and you know, goes, oh, come on, I need that bit massage now. So the dogs do like it and they do ask for it once they know, you know, that you're there and able to do it for them.
That's it, and that's the key as well, is listening to your dog and learning those signals. So there's some dogs that will just like certain zones because that's just their feel-good zone, and that's fabulous, and you understanding that is fabulous. But then there's also that stage of dogs, because this DVD is called Puppy Massage DVD, but it's not, it's about starting from a puppy, but it's a lifelong thing. And so when you get used to what your dog likes and appreciates, you can start noticing when they're asking for something different. So like, for instance, some dogs obviously just want their bum scratched, and you know, that is just like their happy zone. But other ones, they might have some hip pain or something, and they might be trying to tell you something and saying, actually, I really like it when you massage my backside because actually it makes me feel so much better. So it empowers you with all that information.
Oh, that's really good. Right, so I've got one of the questions which have been sent in. Benefit, is it the same as benefits as baby massage? You know, calming and bonding.
Absolutely. So I had this idea for my DVD, you know, many years ago. But then when I had my baby 5 years ago now, and I started doing baby massage classes, that was the real kick that I needed. I was like, I have got to get this DVD out there because I could just see the benefit of doing the massage with my child, and it is based very similarly on those similar principles, very Swedish massage type thing. That, you know, you massage your baby, the bond between mother and child or father and child for doing that is huge, and it's exactly the same thing for the dog, because when you do a massage, it causes an endorphin release, and endorphins are your body's own natural pain relief. They are a natural flood of feel good, and so when you do that natural flood of feel good, you're obviously going to feel good about everything that's associated with that. So if you're the one causing the feel good, then you're the one that's going to get all the benefit of the bond and the reward that comes with that.
Oh, it's so nice.
I think so.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely, and I think it is important to be able to spend that time with your new puppy as well. You know, building that relationship with them and building that trust as well.
Also, I would say, you know, from a rescue dog point of view, you know, it's not even just puppies. It's, you know, any new person that gets a dog at any age, you know, they need that bond, and probably even more so with a rescue dog, because obviously some of them do come with their mental health issues and all that sort of thing as well. And, you know, I spent some time working at Battersea Dogs Home, and I have to say that there was a lot of interest there for it because, you know, wow, did they need it, and it was an incredible way of building a bond with the rescue as well. So yeah,
and I suppose it's just providing that calmness and relaxation as well that our dogs do need, because obviously there's a lot of do all of these exercises with your dogs and activities and stuff like that, but there's also that time that we need to spend, that calm, relaxing time with our dogs as well.
Definitely. Sorry, it zoned out then.
Oh, getting that right balance as well, isn't it? Between
Oh, definitely. I mean, I said that today as well on one of my posts. Is like, you know, I've been saying, do these exercises, learn this thing, you learn that thing, and then I was like, today, do you know what? Just chill out, and it's okay to do that too. So yeah, absolutely a balance, definitely.
Yeah, I've noticed Tui's quite tired at the moment, just because I think we're all home all the time, and we're just, you know, just wandering around. You can probably hear him wandering around at the moment.
Definitely.
They're up and about, and they're sort of like, oh, what's going on? What we're doing? We're out in the garden, and you know, going for those extra walks. But it's also important to have that relaxation time,
Definitely.
as well as for us, really, as well.
Exactly, and that's what I said before. Like, you know, it is so important to have that relaxation, exactly like you said. And you know, my dog's always following me everywhere, like literally even to the toilet. He'll block me in as he shuts and lays down and shuts the door on me and stuff like that. So you know, it's absolutely crazy. But what's nice is that I know that he wants to be with me, so this is something really nice that we can both do together, and yeah, really relaxes my head down. It's really helps for me too.
That's great. So I've got another question from Claire. So she was just asking about gun dogs, and obviously, you know, when they're getting ready, what's a good massage for them to do?
So gun dog situation, it depends on what's going on. So when it comes to exercise, as a rule of thumb, massage after is better than before, because it depends on the type of exercise you want, but you wouldn't normally want to stretch your muscles out too much if you want fast running action, because you kind of lose the elastic in your muscles. So it depends on what you're trying to achieve. If, for instance, you've got a gun dog that's a bit crazy nuts and needs to calm down before you go out, then it might be worth doing some head massage, because that will help calm them down. If you've got a dog that has perhaps had a slight injury, I would obviously suggest seeing a physio or someone first to give you some guidance and know that it's not going to cause more damage. But sometimes, for instance, in that later healing phase, you might need a bit of massage just to warm them up in a certain area. And also warming up is a good idea anyway. So, but you can warm up by running around, for instance, or, you know, cautiously, cleverly. So it really just depends on what you're trying to achieve. With the DVD, there is a behavioural section in it as well. So it does explain about how, because I'm not a behaviourist, but it does explain how best to use it for certain situations, if that makes sense. And, you know, if you have any specific worries in mind, I would always recommend talking to your physio or your therapist, you know, whoever they are, your MSK therapist, to decide the best course of action and best use for it.
Oh, that's really good. Excellent. So with your DVD, sort of like how is it sort of structured? So
there's it explains literally everything you can possibly need to know, and so it's, I think, 47 minutes, and it's all chaptered, so you don't have to watch it all in one big hit and go, right, I know what I'm doing. And you can also practice. And so the beginning is all the explanation of, you know, how to use your hands, how to do your movement, how to warm yourself up, how to set the scene, because that's actually really important as well. Setting the environment's really important, because if there's a million noises, the kids are running around in the background, or, you know, things like that, no one's going to be calm in that situation. So you're kind of setting yourself up for a fall. So it explains, you know, get some music, get the atmosphere on beyond. You know, make it nice for you as well. Dim lights is fabulous. Relaxing dog music's fabulous. You can use things like Pet Remedy or your Adaptil. There's a million things to try and do to help make the environment calm, and that's really important before you get started. You know, it's not something you should do before, right, I've got 5 minutes now before I've got to run for the bus. So, you know, I'll fit 2 minutes of massage in. That's not the right time for it. So all that stuff's explained. It also explains how best to use it for the likes of things like fireworks, anxiety, all that sort of thing, because it's really important that you wouldn't use it at the wrong time. So, for example, you wouldn't do the massage and then leave the house if your dog has separation anxiety straight away, because if you did the massage then left, they would then associate that massage with you leaving, and for them it would become a trigger for you leaving. But what you can do for a separation anxiety is do the massage, get your dog calm, and then sit down again for half an hour. So now it's not associated with you leaving, and then leave. And it could be part of your separation anxiety training. So I know that when people have a real problem with separation anxiety, they might have to leave for 1 minute, for 2 minutes, for 3 minutes, and gradually build it up. And this might be all part of your build-up system, is that you set the scene, do your massage, you know, that might be your morning regime, and then you start doing your going out thing in the afternoon, for example. Equally, fireworks is a big one. And so again, you wouldn't start doing it when the fireworks go off. you would do it at, say, 5 o'clock in the evening, set the scene, get everybody calm, then turn your lights on, curtains shut, music, TV up loud as you can, and then you sit down and you calmly stay calm reading your book. And then at that point, where the behavioural information changes, it's all by the behaviourist, by the way, like I say, the dog might come up to you and ask for reassurance during a firework. They might be like, oh, mum, actually, I quite fancy a massage. In which case, they've chosen to come to you. You can do the massage just to give them a bit more reassurance that you're there. And then they might settle down, go to sleep, and that's absolutely fine. But like I say, what you're not doing is saying, there's a big problem now, massage, let's fix it. So it's all very clever. So that's all in the DVD as well. And then we move on to how to do it. And it literally goes from head massage. I put a video up the other day of doing head massage, and that includes things like gum massage, which is also really good because it gets them used to having their gums touched, which is brilliant for when you're brushing teeth as well. And there's ears in it as well. Again, great for eardrops and things in the future. But all your face, I mean, we obviously express ourselves loads. You've been on a big night out or whatever, and you've just been smiling, your face gets really sore. Well, dogs are the same. I mean, they use so many facial muscles for expression, and they're chewing, and especially if they're playing with their chew toys all day. You start massaging these muscles here. Oh, wow. They just find it so relaxing. And same with their forehead muscles as well. So all that's in there, and then it moves down to the back. There's a load of different back techniques like skin rolling, all sorts of things. And then moves down the legs, so forelimbs, hind limbs, everything's in there. And then how to do some grounding and efforage. It's all in there. Everything you could want to know about good, safe home massage is all in there.
Oh, that sounds really good. We've got a question from Donna here. So about contraindicators with massaging dogs.
Okay, so that was what I was trying to say, is that this is all the really safe stuff. But yes, there are contraindications, definitely. I mean, for instance, you wouldn't do massage over the top of a tumour, for example. But this is where it all gets complicated, because if your dog's got a tumour and they are, really sore, and they're really struggling with life, then maybe it's still better to do that massage and have a happy dog. And that's the conversation, if you've got a tumour, that you're going to talk to with your vet about, if you see what I mean, or your therapist. So that's why I say this isn't to take away from your therapist in any way, shape or form. This is really to enhance what your therapist would do. And so if we were talking tumours, as a rule of thumb, young dog isn't going to have tumours. They might, but if they did, then quite honestly, hopefully if it's obvious enough for you to notice, you'd have gone to the vet and you can have those discussions. So there are always those situations, yes. But the massage benefits, like I say, they're just so huge. And they're really, from a light massage point of view, it's rather like you booking in to go and see the massage therapist yourself. If you went to the local spa or something, they would ask you about blood pressure and things like that. And quite honestly, most of the time with your dogs, you don't even know about their blood pressures. It's not something the vet even checks unless they are actually admitted and have an anaesthetic, in which case they would check. Potentially. So there's not really too much to worry about when it comes to doing your deep tissue massages and things like that. That's when your therapist would start asking you questions, and you would go from a consent form and all that sort of thing. But that level of massage is what I was trying to say. That's where your therapist is getting involved, and isn't sort of the home massage type level, which is, like I said, the equivalent to going to a beauty therapist or your baby massage, things like that.
And I suppose, as you were talking about before, it's listening to your dog and just sort of like, just watching out, watch what your dog's doing as well, isn't it? So it's sort of, if that dog's moving away from that situation or anything like that, then obviously you're just going to stop, aren't you? So just, really just listening to your dog. And if they're happy and they're lying there and they're falling asleep with their massage, then that's really nice and perfect, in a perfect situation. And just making sure that you just, if they want to walk away and they've finished and they've had enough, so you just listen to them.
Absolutely. And that's absolutely the key. It is about listening to them. And, this is just a nice thing. And that's where it breaks down into sections as well. It's not expected that you would be there and just, make your dog lay there, and you've got to massage them for half an hour and get through head to tail, and do their legs, do their feet, everything else like that. This is just a really nice thing, and more a sort of upgrade from the stroking and cuddling that you're probably doing at night anyway, and just make it a little bit more functional, that you will get your endorphin release, which, by the way, you get with just a cuddle anyway.
Yeah, which we all like cuddles anyway.
Exactly.
I suppose we could just talk about some of those older dogs who are getting a bit stiffer and who are sort of getting a bit more less mobile now, and how it benefits them as well.
Absolutely. So, as I said before, when it comes to having an actual problem and an actual ailment, then yes, the best advice is to go and speak to your therapist, definitely, because they're going to be able to tell you exactly what your problem is, and really focus in and really help you to get the right areas and all that sort of thing. And that's exactly what your therapist is for. So this isn't about trying to avoid your therapist. Obviously, during lockdown, this has been a lot more difficult, which is why I think this is a great and helpful tool, largely because a lot of owners are now stuck having to do things on their own, and do things with teleconsults. And the point is that, with this, you've got something to learn from really easily, and then your massage therapist can help with your teleconsult and just make sure that you're guided and safe and doing all the right things. But the biggest, that's exactly why I started this as a puppy massage DVD, was because if you start as a young age, then as you get older and you start needing more, then your dog's already used to the process, you're already used to the process, and then your therapist can just come in and just add to it. So it's not about teaching you, oh, I've got a sore old dog, oh great, I'll be able to do this DVD and I can fix him. It doesn't replace the physio in any way, shape or form. It's literally a tool to enhance your skill, to help the physio or chiro do that.
Oh, that's really good. I think we've only got this one from, is it the same principle as human massage with blood flow towards the heart?
So actually it's slightly different, in that, so yes, the human principle of going towards the heart is absolutely brilliant. The only reason why it's an issue in dogs is because some dogs don't like you going up towards the heart, because it would go against the flow of their hair. So as a result of that, we tend to follow their lymphatic drainage instead. Again, that is all explained in the DVD. So we do obviously use the circulatory system. We're just using the lymphatic circulatory system instead of the actual heart circulatory system. So yeah, in a human, you can just slide straight out the back towards the heart. That's absolutely fine. In a dog, we would tend to go down and then go round to the back of the leg, and then use the lymph node in the back of the knee for that drainage instead. And there's lymph nodes all over the body, so we're just pointing it in that direction, and that's absolutely fine. Some dogs are obviously absolutely fine. So for example, I've got one border collie and his hair is so fluffy in every direction that he doesn't mind if you go up and down him, like it really doesn't matter. But if you think of more short-haired breeds like your Weimaraner, for instance, if you try and stroke them up the wrong way, it can be a bit, it's a bit cringe for me if I do that, to be honest. So some of them don't like it. So it does depend on the dog. If your hair will go all ways, then it's absolutely fine to do that, and and carry on however you want to. But the advice is generally to go with lymphatic drainage direction.
I suppose we could ask about the different breeds. Obviously you've got your giant breeds like your Newfoundlands and things like that, and then you've got your little ones like your French bulldogs or terriers. Is there different massage techniques that you would use for different breeds?
So yeah, it does change a bit, but not hugely. I mean, the principles are all the same. I mean, we've all got legs, back, tummy, all that, so it's all the same. But the biggest change would be making a difference around the face shape. So usually, for instance, if you've got your long-nosed dogs, then obviously if you were doing your nose massage, it's going to be a big stroke. Whereas if you've got a real brachycephalic, you've got a really short snout, it's going to be a much more tiny movement with just a fingertip even. And actually equally with that in mind, yes, of course, if you've got a Newfoundland versus a Chihuahua, it's going to be a case of this much or this much. So it will vary how much hand pressure you're using and all that sort of thing. Again, hand pressure is covered in DVDs. So don't have to worry about, not knowing what to do. But largely what I end up saying is it's all personal as well, because it is, like if you ask two people what type of massage they like, some people would say, oh, I like it really hard. And then other people would just be like, oh, no, I like it quite soft. And it's very individual. I mean, I had a friend and I asked her once, and she said, oh, yeah, but I get a bit funny about massages. And I said, really? Why is that? She said, don't like it when they go between your fingers. And I was thinking, who massages between your fingers? And then she said it's because sometimes the people, they'll pull a hand like this, and she doesn't like them touching between her fingers. And I was like, well, I said, that's the first time I've ever heard that one. So, there's always going to be some individual differences, and you always have to respond to those. But yeah, I think size and face shape's probably the main ones. Obviously, there's some breeds that probably need it more than others, like your pug, for instance, often has a bad back. But again, sticking with the same principle, if you've got problems, you should be seeing a physio anyway, or MSK, any osteo, chiro, any of us.
And I suppose when you're talking about like sensitivity and touch and things like that, I suppose with the puppies, having that massage, it is very good to be having your hands all over the dog and, massaging those feet. So when you do come to that nail trimming or anything like that, then they're quite used to having their feet touched. Because I've got quite a few of my older dogs that just don't even like their feet being washed in the shower before they get in the pool. So they're very sensitive on their feet. So going back to the puppies, and doing that massage with them at that young age, it does set them up for later down the track for all of those.
Exactly the point. And again, like from a rescue point of view as well, just to sort of make sure we've covered it all, sometimes the rescues will come and they've got those same problems as well. And it does teach you how to have confident movement. So, for example, with the feet, I always say, really confidently hold that foot, confidently put pressure on each pad and just hold it there. Because often what they don't like is, the unsure feeling, when you take hold of a foot and you're not sure, so you wiggle and you shake and then you let go, or you tickle in between, because they do have tickly feet. And if you happen to catch the fur, it's like humans when they do reflexology, they really are very firm in their hands and their movement around your feet. And it's that same thing. So it's about confident movement so that they're not going to freak out. And yes, I'm not saying in the DVD, of course, I'm not saying go cut their nails now, but it's about getting their confidence up with you handling their feet. And then at some point, if you or the vet or the groomer or anyone is then on nail cut duty, then yes, it's not as big a deal at all. It's a really, really powerful tool to have that confidence of being touched everywhere and knowing that no harm will come of it.
Yeah, nice. We've got another question here from Diane. Do dogs have pressure points in the head and face?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Again, some of those are covered in the DVD. And again, like us, it's all quite individual. So finding those pressure points, I would say, again, you're sort of edging towards being a physio to understand where they are and to really use them to your advantage. And so that's where we're ticking over into what the physio would do. But they are there. Some of the basic ones I've mentioned in DVD as well, like on their heads, they really like it when you push on the brow bone, which is really lovely. And there are other few ones around the face because they're simple ones that not necessarily a therapy as such. You don't normally go in for a broken face. But there will be other pressure points and trigger points in the shoulders and back and various locations, absolutely. But it depends on what's wrong with them. So that's why I'm saying that's more of a therapy type thing.
Excellent. So with your DVD, where do you send it to? Is it just the UK? Is it around the world?
Globally, I posted one out to Australia yesterday. They are all over the world already. It is region free, so you can play it in any country. We are working on getting a digital download, but that will take time, unfortunately. But for now, if you get the DVD, it has got a digital upload in it with instructions. So even if you haven't got a DVD player, you can put it in your PC or your laptop, and then you can move it to any device, your tablet, your laptop, your phone, wherever you like. So yeah, so we've made it as user-friendly as possible. And yes, we can post anywhere in the world, of course. The globe is a small place these days.
It is. Oh, one more question coming through here. Benefits if I've got level 3 aromatherapy.
That's awesome. Awesome. I'm glad it sounds good, Diane. That's lovely.
Yeah, that's really good. Thanks for all your questions, Diane. You've been very busy.
Yes, no problem. No problem. Happy to help.
Great. So I think was there anything else you'd like to add?
I will just plug, because I am quite proud of this. It was featured on Crufts Extra, and Claire Balding and Alan Carr liked it, and I have to say those were two lovely people. And Alan Carr, I did not even expect him to be the most humble man he actually is. So I will plug that. And also BBC London Radio. So it has got a lot of big following, and also it's had a 5-star review from the president of British Veterinary Nursing Association, and also from the editor of Dogs Today magazine. So it has got a lot of love out there. Oh, and TV vet Paul Manctolo has also put his face on the front. Let me show you here. He runs Vital Pet Health, and he's such a nice guy as well, and he thinks that the benefits of massage are absolutely huge, and everybody should be doing it as well. So so it's got a big following and a lot of support. So yeah, I am particularly proud of it. So thank you very much, and thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for your questions, they've been fabulous, and thank you, Kirsty, for having me on.
No, that's okay. You're welcome. It's been really good, and it's been great chatting about the puppy massage DVD. And what I'll do is I'll put the link in for your website, so people will be able to purchase straight from your website.
Brilliant. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.